A summer election for Justin Trudeau, just what Canadians don't want. Hi, I'm Brian Lilley, political columnist with the Toronto Sun. If you've been following the bouncing ball around Ottawa, then you know that Justin Trudeau and his Liberal government are setting the table to try and go to the polls this summer. Call an election in early August, have voting day in September, and wrap up a majority government just in time for the fall. Is it going to happen? We'll have to wait and see, both on whether they actually go to the polls this time and what voters decide. But it's far from over. Now, Warren Kinsella does have a column in the Toronto Sun detailing why he thinks Justin Trudeau will win. Kinsella doesn't think Trudeau should win, doesn't think he deserves another shot at re-election, and that the Conservatives could still pull this one out. But he also laments the fact that too often Canadians don't, give enough credence to scandals. And Trudeau's had plenty, but they don't seem to stick to him. I'm a bit more optimistic for the Conservative side than Kinsella is, but it is showing in many polls that Justin Trudeau could be headed towards a majority government. Several polls taken at the end of June point to that direction, from companies like Abacus, Nanos, Ipsos. The most recent poll is from LILLEY, and it shows a tight race. 33% for the Liberals, 30% for the Conservatives. So what is it? The truth is we don't know and won't know until Election Day. It all depends on who shows up and what the issues are. But let me put it this way for people who think Erin O'Toole doesn't have a shot at ever becoming Prime Minister and that Justin Trudeau is destined to remain Prime Minister, most likely with a majority government. That could very well happen, and there are plenty of people still backing Trudeau for reasons that boggle my mind. But in 2005, the first federal campaign that I covered from Parliament Hill, all the smart pundits that I was looking up to at the time were saying that this guy named Stephen Harper would never be Prime Minister. As we headed to the polls at the end of November when the election was called, Harper was written off. Paul Martin was on his way to the biggest majority ever in Canadian history, according to all the smart Liberals that would bend any reporter's ear. We, of course, know what happened. Campaigns matter. The 2005-2006 campaign changed things dramatically. Paul Martin and the Liberals took a beating. Stephen Harper became Prime Minister, and the Conservatives were in power for the next 9 years. Could that happen again? Absolutely. Why? Because campaigns matter. There are key moments in each campaign. Just ask Justin Trudeau about 2015. He was still running in third place behind the Conservatives and Tom Mulcair's New Democrats. But after a court ruling over niqab wearing in citizenship ceremonies, Trudeau suddenly found himself out in the lead. Mulcair was dropped as the progressive choice, and Trudeau ran and took power. So the same thing could happen with O'Toole. But what he needs to do, and where Kinsella and I agree, is that he needs to give voters a reason to back him. Yes, governments defeat themselves. Yes, people get sick of seeing certain people in power. And there might be enough of them fed up with Justin Trudeau to look elsewhere. But when they look elsewhere, they need a reason to choose O'Toole. He needs to find that breakthrough moment, and he needs to give voters a reason to hand the reins of power over to him. If he can do that between now and when voting day happens, we could see a much different outcome than's being predicted right now. Let us know what you think. Drop a comment down below. Share this on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you can. Help get the word out.